This is the magic secret to increasing your conversion rate and getting more sales without having to spend any money. So if you're interested in getting more sales, this is the video for you. Hi everyone, my name is Becca. I'm a music teacher who sells on Teachers Pay Teachers, and this whole YouTube channel is devoted to helping you make more money on Teachers Pay Teachers. And I'm talking like make your teacher salary or more, because it's possible. And so if you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button down below and let's get into it. Today we're talking previews. So I'm going to talk about like kind of why previews are super important and how they help your store. We'll talk about 4 different types of previews, including how to make video previews and previews for Google Slides. Yep, Google Slides. A little hack for you. And we'll also show you tutorials for each one. If you want to skip ahead to one thing in particular, I will leave in the description like where everything is so that you can skip to the part that you would like to see. With that, let's hop right on in. My biggest regret on Teachers Pay Teachers is that I didn't do previews at the beginning. The longer I'm on Teachers Pay Teachers, the more I realize how important these previews are. To tell you why it's important, I'm gonna quote my friend Zig Ziglar. He's not really my friend, he's a best-selling author, but still. And this quote is from the book Secrets of Closing the Sale, which I highly recommend. I will link below. And that is, in most cases, if not always, the prospect doesn't buy because he doesn't know enough to purchase. When people come to your store, they are trying to figure out whether or not your resource is going to help them fit their needs. And so they come and they look at your product and they look through your description and they look at your pictures and all of that. And all that information tells them whether or not to buy your product. It doesn't matter if you have the most amazing product in the whole entire world. If people don't understand it, they're not gonna purchase it. I've seen this even in my products with some of my bigger resources that have a lot more going on. They didn't sell as well because people didn't quite understand how valuable they were. So one thing that I have been doing is going back and fixing those and increasing my conversion rates by creating previews. So previews are that little section that says preview, and it's extra files that you can upload that help to explain your resource. They are so valuable, and there are so many people who do not do them. So if you do them, it'll really help. Previews show buyers why they need to purchase, what the product is, and why it's awesome and why they need it. The more you can show them, the more likely it is that they are going to purchase, because they'll know that it is great for them. Or they'll know that it is not good for them, which is also good, because the last thing you want is someone to buy something expecting one thing and get something else. That's when you get really bad reviews that are really heartbreaking, because people just expected one thing but got something else. So this helps everyone to know what they're getting, give them all the expectations and more. Now, different products are going to need different amounts of previews. Some can do something super simple and some are going to require a lot more effort. So we'll kind of talk through the 4 different ways to make previews, why those particular ones are helpful, kind of what resources work the best. And if you're thinking like, Becca, do I need a preview on everything? I would venture to say yes. If you don't want to do something crazy, I would go with the first preview option, which we'll hop right on into. So the first preview option is just simply watermarking your resource. So if you have a simple printable resource or a like PowerPoint, just put the word preview over it. I like to use like a swirly font and do it either kind of opaque or like a light gray, and just write preview. You don't want it to be distracting, but you want it to be enough that people can't use it. And just put that on every slide. Save it as a PDF, upload that as a preview. This shows people exactly what they're purchasing, and this is my favorite thing for just like worksheets, printable activities. Anytime that I have it, just like printable worksheets, I just made some for a song called Engine Number 9, and this is how I did it because it is the easiest way to show people exactly what they are purchasing. The product is simple enough that they can understand it when they look at it because it's got all the directions on it, but they can't use it because it is watermarked. So this I love for really simple resources that you just want people to be able to see. So this is kind of like how I would start if you would like to do a preview but you're not quite sure what to do. So I'm gonna pop in a tutorial for how to do that here. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of these 3 pages because people don't really need them. And then I'm just gonna click text, preview,
I'm going to change the style. Like these would be good. Just anything that's kind of, I don't know what I'm looking for, wavy. But I usually use either this KP Flare Pen Frenzy or this Morning Meeting. Either one works fine. And then you can make it either like a light gray, or you can also make it slightly opaque so that people can see. And then we want to make it like huge so that it goes all the way across. That should be good. Maybe make it a little bit more transparent. That's all I'm going to do. Then I like to do mine a little bit crooked so that it doesn't block everything. And I'm going to copy and paste that onto the other slides. And then file, export to, yours might say save as. And I'm going to go with PDF. And I'm just going to add preview to all right, in PDF form, so you can see, you can still see everything. It would be really wonky if you printed it out with that on top. So that's kind of what we're headed for.
Now, the second way to do this is to create a new PDF with pictures and information. This is great for bigger resources that have more going on. So if I have like a presentation and student activities and this, then I'll use this system to help make sure I showcase all those things. What I do is I either take pictures or I save my slides as pictures, because I do everything in, well, I was gonna say PowerPoint. I really do in Keynote, which is basically PowerPoint, but on a Mac. Anyway, save them as pictures, and then I insert the pictures into a new PowerPoint / Keynote, a new presentation, and then I put words over top. So I usually just do a block of color down at the bottom, and I'll write there. You could make it, you know, more aesthetically pleasing, do all sorts of fancy things, but y'all, we are going for simple here. So I just do like the pictures and then block with some text, and I do lots of different slides. And this is a good way for me to showcase each of the different resources so that you can understand these a little bit better. I'm gonna link down below a product that has this type of preview for each 4 types of previews so that you can see it a little more like in action and kind of get a better idea of like why I would choose that one. So this is for bigger resources that have more going on, again, and that way I can showcase it. So if I'm doing like a song lesson, I might say like it includes lyric sheets and beat tracking sheets, and it includes the rhythm, and then I'll have another page and I'll say like it includes regular and stick notation, which is 2 different ways to write rhythms, and I'll do another page and be like, oh, and it introduces this concept, and then another page it practices this concept, and I'll have like a couple pictures of slides, and then I might have another page and be like, oh, it also has printable activities, and then another page, you know, where it kind of sums it up. I would caution you not to do too many. Like I feel like 5 is probably a good amount of pages, but the point being that you don't overwhelm people. With that being said, I would say make sure that your pictures are big enough to be seen. If you have them, you know, on your preview, and then especially if you have like a block of color and text and they're kind of overlaid, people aren't going to be able to purchase them, but they do need to see what they look like. So make sure that they're big enough. I hate when I go to a preview and all the pictures are like this small, and I'm like, that doesn't help me at all. The reason I clicked on your preview is so that I can see what's in the resource. So if I can't see it, it's not helpful. So make sure that the pictures are big enough that you can actually see into them and see what is going on. So again, I'll just save this as a PDF, upload it as a preview, and then we're good on that one.
All right, now this second way to make your preview is really good for more in-depth. So this is my Walt's Google Slides lesson, and I really wanted to be able to talk about the different slides and show different things in here. So what I do is I just make a normal slideshow, and then I insert these pictures in the back. You can also do screenshots of your products, that's fine too. I just like the way that the real pictures look better. This is just a blue box back here, and then I add the text over top. So you can see some have 1 page, some have 2, and they talk about the different aspects of the product, which is really the big thing, and really want to make sure that we just understand everything about it. So when it is finished, it will look like this. I just export it as a PDF again, and it will go up on TBT like that.
All right, the third way that you can do previews is a video preview. This is a newer feature. I want to say it's only available to premium sellers, so do be aware of that. And you can't do it on Google Slides. However, I do have a hack for that, so stay tuned. So with a video preview, it's literally a video preview. There's a couple of different ways to do that. The first one, let's take a field trip. One way that I like to do that is with this super fancy little thing over here. This is just from Amazon. It's pretty cheap, and it
it holds my phone over my desk. Yes, I said phone. I filmed them all on my phone. And it holds my phone over my desk, and so that I can showcase my stuff that way. I will link, I don't think they have this one anymore, but I'll link a similar one down below. So one way to do this is you can literally just flip through your products. I would suggest that you talk as you go, so you can be like, this is the story of St. Patrick. It includes the story as well as a cut and paste activity where kids can, you know, put things in order. It includes questions and talks about this, it talks about that. It includes, you know, this little shamrock where you're talking about the Trinity and all those things, like kind of talk about them as you go through them if that's the route you're gonna take. Frankly, that's the least effective of ways to do video previews, but it still does work and it does help and it shows what you're doing. Another way you can do video previews is great for like crafts, and that is to show how to use a resource. So if it's a game or a craft, I would definitely do this where you're just doing the activity and maybe doing a talking of how you would do that.
Now this actually went on a free download, so that's why it's on YouTube and not on my teachers pay teachers. But I talked for a couple of minutes up front, or maybe 1 minute, about how to use the product, and then I showed exactly how to do it. So I went through and printed it, showed all that you need, cut it out, glued it on the bag, and then at the end I showed all of the different things that you needed for it, so you can see the rhythms that I'm using and how to use it to play the game.
The third way that you can do video previews is to actually sit and talk. I will link one down below for my game Asteroid. This is one where I wanted to talk because it was more confusing and I knew if I could explain it, it was gonna work the best. So I just propped my phone up. Actually, full disclosure, I just propped my phone up by these books and I just talked and I explained the game. I held up the resource so you could see it and just explained how you play it, and that was pretty much it. And so that is another way that you can do video previews. For video previews, again, I film them all on my iPhone. I don't even have a fancy new iPhone. I have like an iPhone 8. So I just film them on my phone. Most of the time I try to get it all in one shot because again, we're trying to be as simple as possible, but you can edit on your phone if you want to. I used to do this a lot, and I would do iMovie, and then InShot is another app that I have used on my iPhone before, or you can put it onto your computer and you can edit it there, and those are things you can do. Again, it all depends on how much you want to do. If you want to do like an overlay and talk over it and all that stuff, or if you just want to kind of like show like this is the product. Those are different ways to do it. I'll link a couple of different examples of video previews down below and show you that. But again, like it's really simple. These do need to be quite short, so do be aware of that. If they're too long, then TPT won't take them. Yeah, so just film it on your phone, call it a day. The last one is something magical that I found from my friend Emily over at Joyful Noise Teaching, and I was looking for stuff for my class and I saw one of her products and clicked on it, and I clicked on the preview and I was like, got right on my phone and I was like, Emily, how did you do this? And so she explained it to me, and then since then she's made a video about how to do it, which I will link down below, and then I will also show it to you. And that is to make a GIF, to make a GIF file that shows your resource. So basically this is a video that like isn't technically a video. So TPT still accepts it in the regular preview section, so you can use it on digital resources, because as of right this second, you cannot do video previews on Google resources. I don't know why, but that's just what is up. And I said right this second because that might change in the future. So do be aware, you know, everything just depends on when I create it. But all of that being said, basically for this, you want to do like a screen recording of your resource. So I'm talking specifically digital resources, and then upload that to Canva. I like to do kind of like a flat lay with like a computer, and I put the video in the computer so it looks like you're, you know, like on the computer, and you can add words and logos and all that kind of stuff, but do, you know, make sure that the video is the biggest thing. And then, you know, you can trim it down and then save it as a GIF and then upload it to the regular preview section. This will create a video that's not technically a video, so it still works. Again, I will leave a link to Emily's video and to one of my resources that has that down below. And here's the tutorial.
This is the screen recording I just did, and we are going to create a GIF.
or GIF or whatever that is. So I just go to Canva and I'm going to use the, you can go away, create a design and then click on presentation. I already have my template up here. For templates, honestly, I just use whatever I used last time and I replace the things. So I'm going to upload my media. This may take a second. Now, while that's loading, I'm going to add some stuff. So if you're wondering about my template, the picture in the background is just from photos. And then there are all these different flat lays, they're called, or stock photos of computers. You're going to want one of these that has like the white background on it so that you can add your video over top. Any of them will work. If you can find one of your brand colors, that's even better. You see there's the free, and then some of them like these you have to pay for. So just do be aware of that. I then added a text box and my logo, and I just did this little border around it to make it a little bit more interesting. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to grab this, put it in the middle, and make it a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to download it, and I'm going to switch this. So I just click the download button, and then where it says file type, I'm going to change it to this one down here, and I'm going to download it there. Okay, once it's downloaded, then I'm just going to come here to my product listing and edit it, and I'm just going to put it here in the preview. That may take a second to download or upload, load, and then just click submit. And now if you click preview, then you can see it moves and it looks like a video. Is that you might do silly things like forget to change your title. So I just had to go and redo this because I realized that I had forgotten to switch the little title here.
All right, friends, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Previews, again, are seriously a huge deal. So I highly recommend that you really work on your previews. They make a big difference. If you have resources that aren't selling, especially if their conversion rate is low, which means lots of people are looking at them, but not a lot of people are purchasing, this is one area that I would challenge you to work on to see if you can get better or just do it at all, because previews just really help that conversion. It really helps people to get convinced to purchase and to actually purchase. Thank you so much for watching. I would love if you left below if you do previews, if you do video previews, like what kind of previews you do, what's your favorite tips. Leave all that stuff down below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye.